Hello, Taurus. We meet again. So I'm here to do a new moon reading for you. So the new moon is April 20th, and it is in Taurus. So yeah, we're going to do a new moon reading. And this is going to be a love reading. It's going to be channeled towards love. Now, if other messages do come out, I will tell you that feels like a separate message. That way there's no confusion. We're going to use a lot of oracle cards in this reading. Love oracle cards that are geared toward love, and try and get an in-depth picture for you of what you can expect. Now, this is for April 20th, 2023, but the energies, may resonate in and around, or whenever you view it. Sometimes, time is fluid. So sometimes messages really resonate at a later date. I've had several people tell me that. So if that happens, completely normal. Don't forget to hop a subscription or hop a follow at TikTok. If you're on TikTok, my TikTok is ResilientAF13. You can follow me there. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, I would love to have you in my little circle. And this may or may not resonate. Take what does, leave the rest. But please do not ever force a message to fit. If it is not your story, that's perfectly fine. It's a collective reading, so it's not for everybody. But if it is for you, please let me know in the description, or sorry, the comment section below. Something I need to work on, my description box. All right, guys. Okay, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for Taurus in the new moon. What is happening with Taurus in love? What is going on with Taurus? What messages does Taurus need to know? What does Taurus need to have revealed to them? Can we tell Taurus today? Okay. So this is a love oracle. I'm going to get some love oracle messages first. We're going to get into the tarot a little bit later. We have damaged. So before you date me, understand I'm damaged and a broken soul. So you could have someone coming towards you, Taurus, or you could be with this person already. But this person is damaged. Now, we're all a little bit damaged. There isn't a single person on this planet that doesn't have some sort of damage. Life is a roller coaster, and it's hard on people, and especially matters of the heart, love, things like that. There's a lot of betrayal in the world. There's a lot of careless people when it comes to matters of the heart, a lot of selfish people that only think about themselves. So for someone to come to you and they're damaged, it's not necessarily a red flag. We all have damage, every single one of us. It's what kind of things are they doing about being damaged? It is never anyone's fault what happened to them, but it is their responsibility to heal from it. So, that's something to look into, Taurus, with this card. Is this person may be damaged, granted, but what are they doing about it? And that will kind of help you decide if that person is a healthy person for you to entangle yourself with. Now, that could be a message for you too as well, and the same applies, just, in reverse. Superficiality. It's easier to be superficial and be accepted by society. So, this happens a lot with a lot of people. Sometimes people feel like they have to wear a mask, like they have to put out a pretend version of themselves in order to be accepted. A lot of times people aren't honest with themselves, even how they feel about a situation, or what they really want out of life, because they've got social media and they've got a million other things being thrown at them, to the point where their judgment of what they want or what can be possible for them is distorted. Tough beginning. It's not going to be easy, but I'm willing to fight for our love. So it may not be an easy beginning with whoever you're with. This could be somebody who you're already involved with. It could be somebody who's new. It's going to vary for all of you, but it's a tough beginning. And when a person is damaged and not necessarily honest with themselves for fear of not being accepted, it can be a tough beginning because you're working out all those little quirks, right? Children are important to me, and it's affecting our connection. So this person could be ready to have kids, Taurus. You could be ready to have kids. You could already have kids. This could be a situation where there is just children involved in the relationship. And you know, that could, having kids in the mix can sometimes, you know, throw a wrench in plans and sometimes make things a little bit more difficult. Because, you know, it's not just about you and your person. It's about the little people that are around you and looking up to you. And sometimes, you know, when a person's damaged, that happens, you know, their children end up getting damaged too. Not their fault, you know. So it's, children live what they learn and they learn what they live. And, you know, there's a poem actually out there on the internet somewhere. You can look it up. It's called Children Live What They Learn. And it's a very, very true poem. You have a soul contract here. My soul recognizes there is a sacred contract to fulfill. So this person is brought to you, Taurus, for a reason. There's a reason for everything, but there is a reason for this person to be in your life. A soul contract, whether you are meant to journey with this person for some reason, maybe to teach them something. They may have something to teach you. You could help this person evolve maybe, or vice versa. You know, this could be somebody that you grow with. We'll get deeper into who this person is and why they're here throughout the reading. But it feels like there's, you know, there's something here to be learnt with this connection. Youthful. Let's keep our inner child ageless and maintain youthful forever. So somebody wants to really, you know, be youthful, enjoy life, maybe just act like a child and, you know, have some fun. Could be, you know, this could be to do with kids too, right? If there's kids in this connection. There's not going to be kids in every connection for all of you. Like I said, take what resonates, leave the rest. You have love, hate on the bottom of this deck. I'm angry, but I still love you. Just hate what you do. So again, this person could be damaged, Taurus. If you have a history with this person, there could have been some things in this connection that have already happened that have damaged you or damaged a person, and has created a love-hate situation. Now, this situation does have some toxicity with it. We are all toxic. Everybody is toxic. I see a lot of memes and shit like that on the internet about, oh, this, you know, clean your life out of all these toxic people. Yes, you do need to do that. But we also have to take responsibility for ourselves and our own actions. And there isn't one single person on the planet who hasn't been toxic at some point in our lives. No one is a saint. And it's absolutely pretentious of us to believe that. What matters is, are you working on it? Are you accepting and taking accountability for the times you've been toxic? Or is the person you're dealing with taking accountability and trying to change the behavior? You know, some people are toxic all the time. They're drama queens. They bring nothing but toxicity. They reek of toxicity. Those people are usually the people who are not doing anything about their problem. Those are the types of people who, yes, you do need to depart from them, at least until they can, you know, take care of their crap, because all of that toxicity unloads onto you and everyone else around them. But there are the people who have been toxic or been in a toxic situation. Sometimes being around a toxic person can in turn make you behave toxic as well. And it happens. And, you know, like I said, for someone to just say, oh, I'm not toxic, I've never been toxic, is delusional. I mean, it's just, that's not how humans work. As humans, we make mistakes. This is how we evolve. This is how we learn. And, you know, we're not all on the same journey, and we're not all evolved to the same place, and we have to love each other where we're at times, you know. It does no good to judge, right? Okay, let's see what other messages we can get for you. We have one-way love. Unrequited love can be painful. Protect yourself and try to move past the pain in a positive way. So there could be, someone could feel like this is a one-way situation, like a one-way love. They could feel like they're putting more into this situation than they are receiving back. They could feel like the person doesn't love you as much as you love them, something along those sort of lines. And it can be painful when you feel that way. A lot of times though, I mean, there are situations where unrequited love is actually an issue. But a lot of times, especially when there's damage from past things, a lot of times what happens, Taurus, is sometimes we are, you know, our own insecurities get in the way of someone else loving us, of us being able to connect and feel that love. And so we automatically think, okay, someone in the past did me wrong. Well, this person maybe doesn't love me as much as I love them. My heart's on the line. What if I get hurt? A lot of this comes from fear, and it's fear of the past. It's because it's a place your soul recognizes you've been there before. And, you know, that is what causes anxiety. That is what causes us to be on guard, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that this person doesn't have as much love for you as you have for them, or vice versa. It can just mean that there's some damage from a past situation where you maybe were taken advantage of. And so you're kind of worried, am I putting my heart on the line in a place where this person isn't meeting me halfway? You need to do some soul work, some self check-ins. Make sure that, is this my fear? Is this my anxiety? Is this my own insecurities rising to the surface? Because we all have them. There isn't one single person that doesn't have some sort of insecurity, and we all have them. We may as well own them, because when we own them and accept them, we can evolve, right? Have marriage. You will either take your relationship to the next level, or you will get married. There's much to celebrate. So, I mean, despite what is going on here, Taurus, something is being took to the next level. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're definitely getting married. It just means that, something could go to the next level. It could, a level of commitment higher than what you are currently in. So living together, some of you could have a child. You've got the card of children here. So some of you could be, having a child together, or going to have a child together. So there's that. And mixed signals. A lover is unsure of what they want, sending you mixed signals, causing great confusion. Maybe it's best to move on. Now, there is mixed signals that come in with a one-way love card. So when you're feeling like, oh, does this person love me as much as I love them? This is probably why those questions are there, why those insecurities are being brought to the surface, Taurus, is because there has been something that is a mixed signal that has been brought to your attention. Now, whether that is intuitively, excuse me, you've picked up on that, or it's something they've said, something they've done. We are in the shadow of retrograde right now. And a lot of times in retrograde, communication is not very clear. A lot of times people say something and mean something else. And I don't feel like it's really even on purpose. I feel like it's just that we are kind of at a disconnect during this time. It's a planetary shift that is really hard on everybody. And, sometimes those mixed signals feel like they're mixed signals, but they're not always missed signals. They're not always the intention of confusing you isn't always what's there. I think a lot of times things get mistook as, you're trying to purposely confuse me, when the other person may be not actually doing that. It could be, sometimes we get the answer in our mind and then we look for a narrative to fit that, right? I've done it myself. I think we all do it as humans, right? And we're always on the defense when we've been hurt. So keep that in mind, Taurus. Sometimes those mixed signals, I mean, if it's something you're feeling in your intuition and your soul, you should always listen to that. But sometimes, excuse me, our anxiety will take over and our brain will scatter, and it will, you know, it'll cause a tower moment, essentially, because it, you know, your feelings get rose up high and your anxieties get up there, and it just causes an overflow of emotion, right? And a lot of times it happens really quickly. And, you know, here we have blocked from love on the bottom of the deck. There may be an emotional baggage from the past blocking you from true love. It's time to release it. And Taurus, this is what I've been feeling this whole reading, is that there is something in the past, whether that's your person or you, there is a blockage here, something that has happened that is causing you or your person to just be on real high alert. Like hypervigilance has really, you know, it feels very heavy in this reading. Like you or your person may be at every turn thinking the worst, right? And you know, when hypervigilance hijacks your mind, those worst case scenarios is what comes to mind first. That is what comes into play, and your mind can, you know, can become like a skull-sized hell, and it, you know, you're going around and around, sort of like in an Eight of Swords energy, right? And it's never fun to live in that sort of energy. But Taurus, I'm asking you to look within, or your person, if this is your person's energy, look within, find those pieces that are broken deep down, and try to release them. Try to work with them. Sometimes we do need to do shadow work, and a lot of it, to release some of the baggage and the burden from the past, because it can get really heavy, especially if you've had a lot of it. I mean, some people, a lot of their lives is simply trauma, you know? And so in order to sift through all of that and try to release it so that you can, you know, enjoy life and have some happiness and trust yourself and trust your judgment and trust those around you, it's a task. It's a big task. It's a lot of work. It's a full-time job in itself. So, you know, bit by bit, little by little, maybe if you take, or if this is your person, if they take, you know, 10 minutes a day, that's it. You know, 10 minutes a day doesn't sound like much. It doesn't sound like it would do much. But at the end of the week, 10 minutes a day is 70 minutes. That's an hour and 10 minutes of self-care, of just looking out for yourself, piecing together things in the past that have broke you and releasing them. And it's a lot of, you know, you accomplish a lot over time. And if you don't start and you don't do it, every week that goes by is 70 minutes that you're not ahead, where you're, you know, as much as it's only 70 minutes, it's 70 minutes that you haven't used for self-love. And self-love is important. If we can't love ourselves and forgive ourselves for past things or release things, it makes it really hard for us to allow other people to love us. It's not that, like people say, oh, no one can love you if you don't love yourself. It's the harsh reality, yes, but that, I don't feel like that's the right way to word it. I think that, you know, if we don't allow anyone to love us, no one can love us. I don't think it's that they can't love us. Everyone's lovable. I think it's just what we allow, right? You have the Fool here, so a new beginning. There's something fresh here. Maybe this new moon is a time to release some things, to let some damage from the past go, so you can have this brand new, fresh start, a brand new beginning, new opportunities. See what else we get here, Taurus. For Taurus, for the new moon, okay. So, yeah, the Four of Cups. So Taurus, the Four of Cups is a card of, you know, a missed opportunity, or not not accepting something from somebody. Sometimes it can be a card of ignoring something, not paying attention to something. You could be pushing somebody away and maybe not even realizing it, maybe not even intending to do that. Or your person, you could feel like you're being pushed away. Take the energies and flip them around as you need to. You know, if it's your person's energy I'm picking up on, that's fine. Just interpret when I say you as them, or vice versa, them as you. But the Four of Cups is a card of, there's a cup being offered there. But the guy's sitting there by the tree and he's like, no, I don't want that. Now, sometimes it's because you don't want it, but sometimes it's because you don't feel like you deserve it. Now, somebody could be offering you something and you could feel, you know, I don't want this. You're just going to hurt me. Your mind could be going to places, and the Tower has flipped over here. Your mind could be going to places where you feel, like if you let somebody in, the worst is going to happen. Like especially if you're living in kind of a catastrophic place in your mind, where you're very nervous and hypervigilant and worried and thinking for the worst, you're not wanting to accept, you're not open to it. And when we're not open to love, we can't receive it. So you have the Tower here. Now, this could feel like what you're feeling right now. Like you could feel like an upheaval of emotion. You could feel like almost like a volcanic eruption, like something is bursting out of you and you can't control it. Sometimes the Tower moments happen in our lives so that we can rise from the ashes as a phoenix. You know, sometimes we need destruction, mass destruction, for to be able to rebuild and have a good foundation. That is sometimes what we need. And this is, you know, I feel like shadow work may be needed in your life, Taurus, or in your person's life. And it may feel like a Tower moment when you do that shadow work. But the best part of that is that you can rebuild from that. Fresh new beginnings. Fresh new opportunities. So let's get you a couple more, Taurus. Someone definitely, you know, we all have issues from the past. You could be feeling like you're dealing with somebody who may be a karmic, or like there's the soul contract card here. You could feel like, I'm not really big on twin flame stuff. I've heard of it and whatnot, but I don't believe two souls split. That's just my belief. It doesn't mean that that's how it is. But I don't really talk a lot about twin flame stuff. But karmic relationships are along the same lines. They can be very heavy. They can be very toxic. So, I mean, if you're growing with someone and you're evolving, you know, a negative experience, when we're looking for the positive all the time and everything, we're not living that experience. We're not in the moment. So sometimes I feel like if we're always looking for the positive and like, oh, I can't have this negative, we are robbing ourselves of that experience, number one. But I feel like it's a negative thing to always be looking for something else. Sometimes we need to be where we are and experience what we're experiencing, even if it fucking sucks. Sometimes we have to go through that in order to be able to evolve into what we are meant to be. And it's like going to the gym. Working out isn't fun. Getting yourself in shape hurts. You literally, you know, the next day you're on the couch going, oh, I can barely move. But you're making something work. You're making something, you're crafting something. And things that when you build something, it's never painless to build something amazing, right? So it's the same with your life and your soul. It's never painless to do this work, but it's essential to do it for your happiness and for new beginnings. All right, the 10 of Wands. So Taurus, there is a lot of burden here with this situation. But you know, I'm coming right back to the same story here. Shadow work. You know, in not avoiding what has happened in the past, facing the past, facing those broken pieces of yourself or your person, and, you know, getting all of that out of you, releasing all of that. You've got the Two of Pentacles. So Taurus, you may feel every time you go to do this, if you've tried to release this sort of stuff in the past, you may get to it and be like, oh, it's too much on my plate. I can't do it right now. I'm, you know, too burdened with everything else. And you may feel like you're juggling too many things in order to do this too. And it can feel that way, you know, go with it anyway. Even when something does feel too much, when it comes to stuff like this, sometimes you need to just do it, because there's never really going to be a good time to deal with it. I feel like when we just put things off, because, and I am like queen procrastinator, by the way, so I'm talking to myself too. When we put things off and we say, oh, we got too much to do today. We've got too much going on in our lives right now. I can't do that. I can't do this. We make excuses for ourselves. And what it does is it keeps us stuck. So in order to avoid that happening, Taurus, if that is how you're feeling, and only if that message resonates for you, go ahead and do it anyway. Because, you know, part of the reason you may feel like you have too much on your plate or you're juggling too much at this time is because you've got it all up here. And that is keeping you from being able to be your best self at work, in your relationship, in your everyday life. When we're trapped in our mind and we have a million things going on in our mind that are, you know, past events that just keep coming up and making themselves relevant again in our lives, we can't release that. That will make us feel like we're juggling way too many things. We've got too much on our plate. We can't cope. We can't do it. And next thing you know, you're overburdened. So go with it anyway, even if it doesn't feel like it's the right time for it. Go with it anyway. Get started on it. You can, you know, worst case scenario, if it is too much, you can always back out. You can always say, okay, you know what? I can't do it today. Tomorrow's a new day. We'll start fresh. But if you put in the effort and at least, you know, work, you know, or your person or with your person, this could be stuff that you need to work together with your person on. You know, be fair with yourself, but put in the work. You put in the work, you take back control of your life with the Emperor. Taurus, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope this reading helped. And I hope that you enjoy the beautiful new moon on the 20th of April. Have a good day. I love you guys. Bye.